witches, be. This is White Raven over here. Today we have my beautiful friend Miranda with us. Miranda, how are you?
Good. Hi, everybody.
I am so happy to have you here. I am so happy that my witches get finally to meet you because I talk a lot about you. So, Miranda, what do you call yourself?
I just call myself psychic, but I'm a witch too. So a witch, psychic witch.
A psychic witch. And when did you first realize that you had a gift?
I noticed very young. I would dream about things that little kids normally usually don't dream about, and I would get weird feelings around certain people. So I kind of just dismissed it. My first encounter, I can say, was probably when I was 5.
Was it scary?
Yes. I would have these dreams about different things. I was afraid. I'm like, okay, there's something wrong with me, maybe, like I didn't know how to interpret what I was feeling because I was so little too. So I didn't know how to react to it. And then as I got older, I was getting more things.
Can you tell us a little bit about that first experience? If you feel comfortable telling us a little bit about that first experience.
I was 5 years old. My stepfather and mother were fighting at the time, and of course it scares you, you cry, whatever. And I closed my eyes. I saw a man kneeling by my bed, but it didn't scare me. I felt comfort, actually. But still, I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't know how to go to anybody and say, I'm having this happen to me. What's wrong with me? It was just something that I would just keep putting back and putting back and putting back.
Do you consider this a gift now?
I do. Now that I'm older, I do consider it a gift. Yeah, I do.
How did your dad communicate with you?
A lot in dreams. I get feelings when I go different places. I can feel something there. And smells.
Smells. Interesting.
My father had passed away, and when I know that he comes to see me, I can smell the aftershave that he always wore. And I know it's him. Then I'm like, hi, I know that it's my dad, and then I can see them, but it's not all the time. I think it's because, and that's another thing, a coping mechanism.
Talk to me about that.
You try to put like a guard up when you know you're going out in public and things like that, or being in crowds and things like, so that you're not like overwhelmed.
So tell me first, how do you cope? I would like for you to talk to us and let us know, how do you cope and how do you close that connection when you want to like be at peace? Are you able to do that?
Meditation helps with coping. I'm an empath as well. It's like a sensory overload. I just envision, before I go anywhere, I say a little blessing. I'm like, and envision myself like in a light bubble, protecting me from, anything. So meditation's amazing. I do that quite a bit. That helps to bring your connection back to yourself. You need something to help pull away from all of that stress and everything that you're getting from different angles. I just say thank you for coming and allowing, me to give this message to your loved one. And I thank my guides too, because I get a lot of help from them. That usually disconnects.
Is this something that took you some practice to start
disconnecting?
Yeah. So you meditate. So through meditation, you start disconnecting. You also envision like a shield of the light. But the other day you were telling me you were in a hospital and you got people coming to you, like the deceased coming to you in the hospital. If you don't want to talk to somebody, are you able to tell them, you know what, I don't want to talk to you right now, just leave? Will they listen to you?
Most of the time they do, but there are ones that are very persistent. They just follow you around, you know? And I can't get too mad at them for it. Like they see you and then you're like, oh, you know, like, oh my gosh, you know, so they want to go, you know, you want to go to somebody that's going to actually talk to you. So that's kind of like how it is for them. Like they're like, oh, she saw me, you know, and you know, they follow you around. It's just regular people. And depending also on my energy levels myself, that nice shield I was talking about, it feels like it's not as strong. They'll come to you anyway. Like it's like, oh, okay, you know, I can talk to her now. I would go up to someone and say hi, you know, and some people would be okay with it, but then you would get some that would just kind of like walk as fast as they could to get away from you. But I have had some good experiences, and I was sitting alone with this woman, and I said, I'm a psychic, you know, I'm getting a message for you. Are you willing to hear it? Are you okay with this? And she said yes. And then I asked her about her father and her mom, and she automatically, she's like, yes, you know, and I kept going and going. And the more information I was giving, she's like, yes, that's, you know, that's them, you know. But I had to give her that message, but it made her cry. And she gave me a hug. I'm like, okay, that went well because I was afraid that, you know, that it wouldn't have, but it meant a lot to me. When I have moments like that, that just reminds me that I'm doing something to help somebody else. Even if it's just a small closure of some sort to any extent is good, you know. And we do have those times of doubt and question ourselves, like, but when you have moments like that and they cry and hug you and thank you, and I'm where I need to be. I'm good.
Okay. Do you sleep? Do they let you sleep?
I have a hard time sleeping as I'm getting there, you know, and I'm relaxed and in my mind's calm, and you know, and I even do little blessings and prayers before I go to sleep to protect me too. But there's so many times that I'm in that in between. I hear them talking. And I'll just be laying there like, seriously, like right now you're gonna, you know, there's certain ones that and they're like different languages.
When you're right in that little threshold of waking sleep, you hear them talking.
Oh yeah. One time I get migraines all the time and I needed sleep so bad. This woman was talking to me in Spanish, and I don't know different languages. I don't know different things. But she's sitting there talking to me, and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying to me. I can say this too. When I go to bed, I do, like I said, I ask my guides to look out for me. I heard a man, which I know is one of my guides. I know him. I heard him say, please leave her be. She needs to sleep. And she stopped.
Is there anything about your gift that you think is unique to you?
Everybody's gifts are different. I don't think that I have anything that makes me unique or different.
Do you follow any spiritual path?
No, I really don't anymore. Like I am just on my own journey, I guess you would say, and I'm just a witch. Like, you know, here nor there. I'm just a witch, and I follow how you know, I'm being led or guided. Or
and hold on, because there's something that I need to talk to you about, because this is something that we have talked about before, and it's one of the things that move me the most. Just because I'm a witch, and just like you have a spirit, one of your guides. She is a witch.
Yes.
Talk to us about her, and talk to us what she tells you about spells.
My guide, she was a witch. She was me in a past life. Me accepting my psychic ability brought me to her. She was a healer. I know this of her. I know that she lived in Scotland or Ireland. She lived in a little cottage with her grandma. She has sandy blonde hair. She's not very old. She was killed for her being what she was. But she has guided me to everything that has led me to this point. Healing. I got into my healing because of her. Then when I wanted to progress into learning more about being a witch, it just felt normal then. So I started to hear her talk to me, and I did like anyone else did. I went and bought all these different like candles and like everything. I had all this stuff. And she's like, "Why? Why? Why are you doing all of this? What's all of, what are you doing?"
Now here's your
I'm
spirit.
learning.
This is one of your spirits, one of your guides.
Right.
She was a witch
She's
in
my
the past
guide.
life. She's still a witch in the life that she's
Mhm.
in. And she's questioning all this stuff that
Why?
you're wanting to dispel.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Why do you need all of this? Why do you need this? To them, it was simple. Everything was simple. Anything they needed for their spell work or whatever, they would go and gather. It was stuff they found. They didn't have shops or anything to go to get the things they need.
In other words, we complicate our lives a lot with colors, properties, and all this stuff. And in reality, our ancestors were very plain.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was all intentions and all in here and the power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're overthinking how we're doing different things. I mean, that's my opinion. Probably make somebody mad when we tell them that, but simple.
I agree with you 100%, Miranda. 100%. Yes.
Because she would show me, like, in the morning, she would go with her basket and she'd get different stuff. And for candle, using the candles and magic, how we have red for love, green for money. When I first started out, I was doing all these things, and she's just shaking her head, like, what? Why? What are you doing? Because to them at that time, all they had was white candles and putting stuff together for people. So that's why for me, I usually, like, 80% of my spell work, I use a white candle.
It's funny, but it's really profound because people really complicate their lives when they do magic. They really, really, everything, every little aspect of a spell, they question it. And it's what I tell people, you're going to sour your work. You're going to sour your magic. Stop with the stress. I love that, Miranda. That's one of the things that you have told me that I see my heart and see my mind. And I really, really love it. And how do you protect yourself from a darker energy?
I know a lot of my guides, and I even, I asked family or, like, protect me. When I do, like, right before readings as well, I will do a blessing and do all that beforehand and ask for any help if, so that I can give the best reading that I possibly can for that person.
And you ask these questions to your guides.
Yes, I asked them to come in and help me so that I can connect to someone.
So you ask your spiritual guides to help you with your reading as well. Do you also use like herbs, oils, incense?
I do like to use my sage before. Since I also do Reiki, sometimes beforehand I'll do a self treatment, and even after. And I thank my guides for helping me. A family member came through. I thank them for coming to me. And believe it or not, my go-to protectors are actually are the three closest to me in my past life. Any point, I also believe our guides change as we go through life. There are ones that stay. They're there for you the whole time, and then we get elementals. We get family members that are always coming and checking in on you. You know what I mean? I look at them as like my big committee, like they're there to help me do what I need to do. And then it's funny, sometimes this might sound funny, but I see them as my bouncers.
I hear you.
like, say there's like this door, and on that door, that's the other side. And all my guides and all of my people that I have are standing in front of that door. And if I do a reading, I envision them like moving aside and checking to make sure they're good. Okay, you're good. You're not a bad person saying you're this person or that person. And they allow them to come through.
Do you think that all of us have guides like that
Yes,
are
I
actually
do.
here to protect?
Yes, I do.
I have some that were my direct family, and I have some other ones that, just like you, I'd never seen before, met before in my life. And I think everybody does. It's just that preconditioning that we have in our minds, that we just close all of our abilities to get in touch
Yes.
with our spiritual world.
Mhm.
And I wish people knew that there's so many people out there that feel really sad and really lonely. Nobody loves me. And on the same, they don't realize how much power they have in the other side of the
Right.
veil, you know, how much love there's in the other side and protection in the other side. And I just wish people like let go for 1 second and try to connect. Have you have a dark encounter ever?
Yes. I had what I would call like an imposter that showed themselves as my grandmother. And because I am a lucid dreamer, I knew just from the behavior that it was not my grandmother.
What do you think he wanted?
They were there just to bring me down because my grandmother was very special to me. And for them to, which made me very angry, for them to come in, try to be her towards me, that's a no-no.
Do you confronted this spirit?
Oh, I did. It was a man. He bothered me 3 nights in a row. I walked up to her then and I'm like, "I know that you are not my grandmother and you are not allowed to ever do this to me ever again. You have to show that you won't tolerate any of that." It never bothered me again. But for 3 nights in a row, it kept using her in a way that I knew that it was not her, and I think it was just to break that part of me because I did think so much of her. Another time, it was a few years back, I was trying to sleep and my heart started racing, and then I felt a tightening in my chest. And then all the hair started standing up on, and I can feel someone standing over me, but he wouldn't show himself. He was very negative. I told whoever it was, I'm like, "You need to go. This is my house. I will not tolerate any of this behavior, and you need to leave." And I didn't have any more issues.
What can you say to people that maybe have this gift but they don't realize it? I think a lot of people, I personally think that a lot of people that have a lot of anxiety are really connected to the spiritual world. They just don't realize it.
I would definitely tell people, like you said, there are people that probably are connected that way, but don't know how to go about, or maybe not even think that they have something. I would definitely say if you think that you have if you were a sensitive or an empath or anything in that, or even think that you do have abilities to connect with, you know, um, past loved ones or anything like that, definitely do your homework on it. See if it resonates with you, like different things resonate with you. And if it does give you, and I honestly believe in this too, like if you do start looking into that, you'll start getting a lot of these like aha moments. This makes sense, or yes, this makes sense to me. So if it's something even that you want to pursue, you have to start really small. Don't push yourself out there. Journaling, write what you're feeling at each time. Say if you go and you had this feeling, write it down. No one else has to see it. Just write whatever you feel and write it down. And connecting, having other people talk to, and see if it helps to bring things together for you. For years, I pushed it away. That's another thing. If you know that or think that you have abilities, but you're not really into wanting to get into it any further, don't push yourself. You know, you can kind of like pull yourself back a little bit and maybe protecting yourself, because honestly, it doesn't go away.
For people that want to know more about it, do you suggest any literature, any website, anything that you think it can help out?
For me, honestly, I didn't go and get any books on it. I did do a lot of research on the internet. You know, I did a lot more so that way, than I did like buying books trying to figure out what was going on. Like,
What other things do you do? What else do you do apart from having this ability and this gift that you have? I know you do other things. You mentioned Reiki. What else do
I
you do?
do Reiki, tarot cards.
Can you read pictures? Like somebody show you a picture?
Yes, I can read pictures.
I can people contact you, Miranda?
Yes, through
And
my
how can people
page.
contact you? To your page? Can you tell us a bit about the name of your page?
It's M's Black Hat Psychic Parlor. It's through
This is
Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah, we'll be sharing that in here. And so people can contact you or they can contact me and I'll put them in contact with you to your Facebook page.
Mhm.
You can do the reading for the cards. You do tarot, you do Reiki,
I
and
have
you
my
also do you could read if somebody needs you to read pictures, you can also read a picture. Thank you again. Well, I'm really excited we had this conversation. Like really, really, really
I'm
excited.
so happy and excited and honored that you asked me to do this with you. I was so
I love
excited.
it. I love it. You know, you're my sister, and I talk about you all the time. So I want to thank